Welcome to the deep dive. For decades now, the federal gas tax has been the main way we fund roads and bridges.
That's right. Our infrastructure.
But things are changing, aren't they? Vehicle tech, how we drive. It feels like that funding base is getting a bit shaky.
It is, and that's why we're looking at this potential new direction today.
Exactly. We've got excerpts from a Republican draft megabill. It proposes some, pretty significant changes to how we might pay for infrastructure in the U.S.
Focusing specifically on some new vehicle fees.
Yeah. So our goal here is just to understand what these proposed fees actually are and, the thinking behind them.
It's really about seeing how infrastructure funding might evolve. And what jumps out is this potential move, maybe partly, away from that gas tax model we've had for so long.
Okay, let's unpack the main part of this. The proposal brings in a $20 annual fee for every vehicle owner across the whole country.
Yeah, that's the big one, a universal fee.
Seems pretty broad, doesn't it?
It is. And you have to see the context. This comes from the House Transportation Committee's part of a bigger Republican bill.
Okay.
And the main reason given, according to the report we saw, is just that the federal gas tax, it's, 18.4 cents a gallon?
Right, and hasn't changed since 1993.
Exactly, 1993. So its actual purchasing power, what it can buy for infrastructure, it's gone way down, even though spending has gone up.
Makes sense. That rate from 30 years ago just doesn't buy as much road or bridge repair today.
Not even close.
So this $20 fee, it's positioned as a way to start making up for that shortfall, basically.
That seems to be the idea. But it's not just that broad fee. There are also proposals aimed at specific types of vehicles, too.
Ah, okay. What are those?
Yes. The draft mentions a $200 annual registration fee just for electric vehicles, EVs.
$200 for EVs. Okay.
And then a $100 annual registration fee for hybrid vehicles.
You can sort of see the logic there, can't you? I mean, as more people switch to cars that don't use gasoline, the money coming from the gas tax naturally drops.
Right. Bound to happen.
So these specific fees for EVs and hybrids, maybe they're seen as a way to make sure those vehicle owners also chip in directly for roads.
That looks like the rationale, yes. Ensuring everyone contributes to upkeep, regardless of fuel type.
Okay, so if this proposal actually moves ahead, when might these changes kick in?
Well, the timeline they're suggesting is interesting. It's got a couple of parts.
Oh.
Transportation Chair Sam Graves, he's mentioned in connection with the start date for the general $20 fee. That wouldn't start until 2031.
2031, so quite a ways off for the universal fee.
Yeah, still some time. However, the registration fees for electric and hybrid vehicles...
The $200 and $100 ones?
Exactly. Those are proposed to start immediately, like as soon as the bill passes, if it passes like this.
Wow, okay, so a pretty immediate impact for EV and hybrid owners, but a delayed start for everyone else. That's quite a staggered approach.
It is. Definitely different timelines there.
And looking at the bigger money picture... What kind of revenue are we talking about? What do they expect these fees to bring in?
The estimate in the report is that taken together, these new fees could generate around $50 billion.
$50 billion? Over what period?
Over the next 10 years.
$50 billion over a decade. Okay, that's a substantial chunk of change.
It really is. It shows the potential scale of this funding shift they're considering.
Yeah.
It's aimed at creating a more solid funding stream for infrastructure work.
Right. So just to quickly recap for everyone listening, we're potentially looking at a future where every vehicle owner pays $20 a year extra.
Starting around 2031.
And then on top of that, EV owners would pay an extra $200 annually, and hybrid owners an extra $100, potentially starting much sooner.
That's the proposal in a nutshell.
And the whole driving force is this need to find a more, sustainable funding model because the old gas tax just isn't keeping up anymore.
Precisely. It's fundamentally a rethink of how we pay for our infrastructure, given how transportation itself is changing and the limits of relying only on the gas tax long term.
Okay, so you should now have a much clearer idea of these proposed changes, the fees, the timing, the reasoning, all based on that news report. It's definitely a significant potential shift.
Absolutely.
And that leaves us with something to think about. If we do move towards this kind of vehicle fee model, what might the wider effects be, for different drivers, for how we invest in infrastructure down the road? It's a big question, lots to consider there.
Definitely food for thought.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.